Hey everybody, Tom Sparks with Sparks Media Group, and we have a great little talk today with Mike Martin. Mike is an agent and broker from InMotion Real Estate. And Mike, welcome. Wanted you to kind of shout yourself out here and maybe get you some business. So tell us a little bit about yourself and I don't know, maybe how you got into real estate or what motivates you, that sort of stuff.
Sure. Okay. Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate you. And thank you for the nice plug. I'm Mike Martin with InMotion Real Estate. My office is here in Vacaville, California. I serve all of Solano County, about an hour away from Vacaville. I'll go up to Sacramento, across the bridge, etc. This is my 10th year in real estate sales. And, previous jobs that I had, I worked title and escrow as a sales rep for about 5 years. Before the market tanked in 07 and 08. Went and worked for Chevron in Richmond for a couple of years, and then back to real estate. So here I am. Nice. I love helping folks get educated and understand the process as much as they would like to. Yeah,
good stuff. You do a ton of business, so you're obviously doing something right.
My mantra in life, and I guess and in business, is to treat people the way that I want to be treated. I don't like real pushy, pressuresome salespeople, and so I think I guess I would say a key to my success would be just to educate folks and to give them all of their options, and then allow them to make a decision, and then act on their behalf to, make that happen for them.
Yeah, it's very similar to what I do. Give out the information, and however you use it is how you use it, and yeah. Cool. Good stuff. So I asked you to get on the call today because whenever you place orders, you order iGUIDEs, and iGUIDE has a couple new features out that I wanted to go over. So I, on one of the recent shoots we did, I included these items and asked if, you could get on and talk about it. So I'm going to share my screen and we can kind of go over it.
Okay.
Let's do this. The entire screen.
I was trying to remember, Tom, how many years have you and I been working together? 17, 18, about 8,
since
7 years, 8 years.
18, yeah. So we met at the gym.
Yep.
Push-ups to pin-ups.
Yep. I finished my workout this morning, not there, at a different gym.
Yeah. And I don't know how I harassed you into becoming a client, but I'm thankful for you. All right, so here's the iGUIDE that we have in this house we did. And you can click and walk through like normal. One thing iGUIDE added was site plans, and site plans have become popular recently. They're really popular in Australia. I think they're a requirement for listings in Australia to have them. And so in order to get site plans, we just did a scan outside the house like we would inside the house, and we kind of went all over and captured. So this is the site plan. Have you had a chance to look at this?
I did glance at it, yes, but I haven't torn through it.
What do you think? What's your first impression?
I like it. This particular listing, they had, I'm not one to showcase side yards unless there's something that needs to be shown. These particular sellers have this, really big dog kennel, and their dogs go in and out of the garage.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good sized lot. We did everything we could. This particular day that you shot was a very windy day.
I was going to say that all the blur, here, for example.
Yeah, I do think it's cool because it provides, for buyers to take a look at the property. It's like, hey, they can stand there, because sometimes certain pictures, like the angle that you grab of it, can make the backyard look huge, or it can make it look really small. And then, you walk out there and it's actually a little, like I recently saw another listing. And it looks like you step outside and you literally 2 steps and you're in the pool. But if it's hard to tell from the photo, right? Whereas if you went and saw it in person, I'm sure that there's, because there's a minimum setback.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, you and I have been talking about, moving, and I went to a new development this weekend, and the pictures online, I was like, okay, the kitchen's a little small, the backyard looks huge. You know, I don't really cook. I cook, but I don't cook too much. So I could appreciate the backyard, and we got to the house, and God, the island in the kitchen was massive, and the backyard was tiny. And I mentioned to the agent, I said, all these pictures aren't really doing this justice. That's the wide angle lenses. And he goes, yeah, you know, we use professional photography. And I didn't tell him, you know, who I was or what I do. I was like, oh, okay. But, you know, whatever they were using wasn't working, because it was totally like, I would almost call it bait and switch. If you see
there are some photographers that want to, you know, assist with that when they take the photos, right? Like they want to make it appear bigger than it actually is. There's certain angles, like this particular, like capture of this property. It's, I mean, because I've been there a handful of times, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
What the size?
It's just the lens and it's,
you know, etc. So
our lenses are slightly, they're not fisheye, but there's a bow in them, right? And it creates this. I'm not going to get the term right, but depending on where the camera's pointed, I could be pointed at a fridge and angle it slightly, and the fridge looks huge, or I turn the camera a little bit and the fridge looks small. And you can correct some of that in post, but it's really just about where the camera is and how they're placed. And so when you're on site, you want to look and say, okay, is this island looking a lot smaller than it is, or is it looking accurate? And if it looks smaller, you just got to adjust your camera a little bit. But so this is the site plan on the 3D tour for iGUIDE, but it's also on the floor plan, the PDF floor plans. So you have the house, you have the site plan. I think this is huge. I think every listing should have some form of a floor plan and a site plan, because it's part of the property. Like, why stop at just photos?
Well, what's really cool about it is that you get dimensions, right?
Yeah.
With iGUIDE, and that's one of the things that I like, is especially on my occupied listings. You know, when we're in contract, buyers sometimes want to come back through and do measurements, and we don't want to prevent a buyer from coming through and doing measurements, but they're available online. Because I've been ordering iGUIDE for, you know, years now.
A while now. Yeah.
I like iGUIDE. I personally think iGUIDE, I like it better than Matterport. I like the presentation of it. I think it's a little bit more accurate.
Yep. Okay, so we got that. And then they have something else they're calling a branded property overview. So this is kind of like a one-pager that you could print out and maybe leave on the counter. But it has, you know, a quick reference of the floor plans, the site plan. It has your branding information here. Do you find this useful at all?
Yeah, I actually have it attached to the MLS.
Nice. You should print like 30 of them out and leave them at the house.
35. Yeah.
Is something wrong?
No, I was just looking at the square footage. Like, it just varies, because sometimes you end up coming up with a little bit more square footage and than what the tax records reflect. On this one, that's the case. And then recently we had one where it came in smaller than what the tax records reflected. So,
do you know why that is?
No.
I'm going to use this analogy, and it's not entirely accurate, but it could be accurate to some. But appraisers and people who are out there actually doing the measurements, you know, back in the day had a tape measure that sagged, and everybody does things differently. And it could have been after lunch when they had a drink at the bar, and you know, who knows? And so it's not entirely accurate. These cameras with LiDAR are taking thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of measurements per house in this entire scan. So you're not going to fool, you know, a couple 100,000 measurements that are laser based. You know what I mean? So sometimes it does come in above public record, and then it's like, okay, well, this is So there's a ANSI code Z765-2021, and iGUIDE is that code compliant for ANSI, which means that it's recognized by Fannie Mae and maybe Freddie Mac, but definitely Fannie Mae. So the square footage that it comes back with is good for public record. It's good for appraisals. So you can push back and say, no, this is actually what it is.
You know, the one thing I noticed on this one specifically, this particular scan, was in the garage, the sellers had built this wall to separate the one car from the two car section. And the way that the iGUIDE like brought it up, I mean, you know, I'm in construction, my father-in-law, I'm a general contractor, my father-in-law's a general contractor. The one thing that I noticed right away was that wall was not square.
I wonder... Oh, I noticed it now. I didn't notice it when I was there.
Yeah.
Did you? Is this accurate to what it is?
You know, well, it's hard to tell because when you're standing there, right? You know, I've never been inside the two-car portion because you know every time I've been there, the dogs have that section. So I've only ever been in the one car. And when you're standing at a wall and taking a look at it, you really can't tell how off it is, if it's off at all. I mean, you know,
you should take a little handheld laser measurement. If you have it, and just measure this wall and then measure that wall and see if they're the same.
Right. Yeah.
I'd be curious now to see if this is accurate or if they really did build it kind of askew.
Well, I know they did it themselves, so I mean it's possible. They said they had a friend help them, but you know, I mean, sheetrock is level. Like if I panned my camera up, you could see this wall behind me, and it's close, but it isn't perfect. So
and then in the instance where the square footage comes back under public record, more often than not, this square footage is going to be what it is, and the appraiser or whoever was doing the measurements at the time was just off.
Well, and a lot of times too, when builders are finalizing, you know, plans, they may have already finalized the plan, and if it's a build like this builder in particular, this particular house that we're looking at here in Hancock was Richmond American, and so there was all sorts of like add-ons that you could do. So this house, the floor plan, like that bedroom that you're in right now, that could have been a fourth car tandem garage.
Right. So
it was an option to have it as a bedroom with the bathroom, with a full bathroom in it on the main level.
Yeah.
So this particular house, it has a square footage at 3525. Whereas another one, same floor plan, doesn't have the bedroom, has theirs at 3333. So, you know.
I'm just really curious about this wall in the garage. I'm going to go peek behind the curtain and see if I can tell really quick. Oh, it's very hard to tell.
It's hard to tell because they finished this garage and it's painted. So it's just,
I'm going to ask, excuse me, I'm going to ask iGUIDE to verify this, because if you look here, no, I mean, this is pretty thick right here, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty wide. And then if you go here, it is pretty narrow. So this wall is not centered on this.
Yeah. And they might, you know, who knows? They might have had to move it because the way they lined up the stud, or, you know, who knows?
Yeah. It's very interesting.
There's nothing perfect in construction. You have to make it look perfect.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Overall, I like it. I have to for what it is that I have to do on the like this particular page right here, I have to remove my information on the top to put it on the MLS.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do like it.
I think for MLS, you know, something like this is probably appropriate. Mm-hmm. You could take each of these pages.
Yeah. I put the iGUIDE. I attach it to the MLS. I attach the floor plan to the MLS, and then I also the last 12 months, so about the last year. I've been taking the site plan that comes back and adding that also in the photos of my listings, because I think, I mean, I personally, I like seeing the overview and the floor plan, you know, because sometimes, you know, different, you know, when you're going through pictures and stuff, you know, there's all sorts of different schools of thought, right? Like recently I've changed, you know, certain, like this particular property, we put the pool first. I'd never done that before. I like to kind of take a tour, you know, through the home as you would approach the front door and, you know, go through it in that way, versus, you know, there's some new school thought of, you know, showcasing the best features of the property, you know, in the first couple of photos to get people to look and stay engaged.
Okay, so now here's the $1 million question, and there's no right or wrong answer, but this is extra work to capture the outside of the house, and so I would charge extra for this versus just doing an interior scan. Would this be something you would consider adding on if I said, hey Mike, you got to pay for it?
Yeah, I think that I think that there's value associated with it, especially, you know, understanding, you know, what the dimensions are. But I think it's property specific, right? Like, I think, you know, if you just have grass and a patio in the backyard, I mean, okay, you know, you know, is that, but this one has a pool and it's got all these cool sitting areas and it's got the dog run and it's got the gazebo and it's got the built-in barbecue. You know, I think you're worth, what we're paying you and then some, Tom.
The check is in the mail. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been asked to do like a 5-acre property or a 10-acre property, so I don't know how I would charge for that yet. I still got to kind of kick that can around. And
well, and you know what's interesting about that, right, is how do you, what if, because I live on Acreage, right, and we had a survey done because I built a fence because there was no fence out here previously. Yeah. What if somebody built a fence not on the property line, either went over their property line or went under their property line? How would you know?
You don't know. This is, and this isn't like survey grade, but it gives a good kind of estimate. Actually, did I tell you about the issue I had in my neighborhood with my retaining wall? Mm-mm. Oh, I'll share that with you over lunch one day. Okay. It's quite interesting. Okay. Well, thanks for talking about the site plans and the branded property overview. I appreciate your time, and I will catch you on the next shoot.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right.